La La Land. This has nothing to do with Hollywood. This has nothing to do with liberals and conservatives. See, that's the BS in it. So here's what we're going to do. We'll change the narrative. This is about conservatives ought to be upset. You wait a minute. Conservatives, you don't have family members who are disabled. You don't have family members who have psychological. Who are in that same, who have that same condition. If I did that on air, you'd be calling for me to be fired. Jerry from South Carolina.
Yeah, she's an actor, Joe.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
Okay, can I get it out?
Excuse me, I can't. Hey, do me a favor. When I can't hear you, you're not speaking clearly. I don't have a problem with you getting it out. I just asked you to be clear in your speaking. Now go ahead.
If she really cared about handicapped people, she would have went tit for tat. She would have also spoke out on those two thugs. But she just trying to make an example out of the president-elect for whatever reason.
Let me ask you a question. Is what he did right or wrong?
It's old news.
Excuse me. If I did, look, you, first of all, don't. See, this is what pisses me off. He doesn't want to answer the question because he knows it's wrong. See, I asked you a simple question. I didn't ask you whether it was new news or old news. She made it very clear. It still sticks in her craw. Damn it, it still sticks in her craw. Hell, man, the Ku Klux Klan is old news, but we don't sit around here and forget what they did. So answer my question. What she said, what he did, was it right or wrong? Yeah, goodbye. No, I asked you, excuse me, I'm going to ask you one more time, Jerry from South Carolina, because I know why you're not answering it. Is what Donald Trump did right or wrong?
He didn't lay hands on the
Yeah, okay, goodbye. See, you see? He knows it's wrong. He knows it's wrong. He won't answer the question. It's a simple question. And we have a simple right. A lot of things are going, look, it's old news talking about building a wall. It's old news in what Sessions has done. Are we supposed to forget what Sessions did? Patricia from New York, hi.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I haven't spoken to you since last year. I just wanted to say that, well, it's obvious that it's wrong because we have a lot of disabled, whether it be physical or mental, challenge, and I think that's wrong. But I also think that it's just that our United States society, no matter where you stand, has become so, we're so in tune with this alternate reality. It's like we're not facing what's right in front of us, and it's going to be to our demise in so many ways, and it already is, because that's how you get hacking and all this other stuff.
Look, I'm gonna let me tell you, this alternate reality and all this kind of stuff, I'm gonna be very straight up. I'm gonna say what I think Viola Davis said, that we have to believe that it is our responsibility to uphold what is to be an American and what America is all about and the true meaning of what it is to pursue the American dream. We cannot call ourselves Americans and mock the handicapped and mock the people who have disabilities. You can't call yourself a human being. That's the bottom line. And so I think too much, quite honestly. Let me finish. I think we I'm going to say it anyway. We over intellectualize everything. And the average person out here gets by. Guys, I'll say it and I'll say it again. You'd better understand what my grandfather said when he said, put it where the goats can get it. All right?
I do, and I understand that, but we got to actually get out there and live and get from behind the reality shows and everything else and really live real life. to really have an appreciation and sensitivity to those people who are challenging.
We did. Look, this is, to have a sensitivity to it. Look, this is old school stuff. This is old fashioned. You know, this is why Meryl Streep said what she said. If somebody with power does it, it tells other people I can do it too.
Exactly. That's my point. And that is what is so disgraceful of the whole thing, is because it's being something that's promoted and this gentleman, and I'm going to call him a gentleman, even I don't know if he deserves that, Trump. He is being given, like she said, the highest office. And we have children. Children are looking at that. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Mike from Pennsylvania, first time caller. Hold on, Mike. There you go. Mike?
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
I just want to let you know that I totally agree with what Meryl Streep said. And you know something? This will be the battle cry for Trump supporters for the next 4 years. Just making excuses for this man, for everything that he said. I mean, and many of these Trump supporters are, the conservatives that they are, and many of them go to church every Sunday.
They're trying.
Yet they're going to make an excuse.
They're trying.
When this man makes fun of the handicapped, calls Mexican rapists, and then says, get the hell out of my country. This administration is like, it's going to be like the Duck Dynasty. We have the royal family in there now. It's like going to go to the Duck Dynasty.
Well, once again, let's stick to our, let's not, see, once again, this is the impact media has. I'm going to remove Duck Dynasty. I'm going to remove all this TV stuff we be watching. Now let's go and let's deal with this individually. Ask yourself, even if you are a Trump supporter. Now I'm going to talk to Trump supporters. I'm not talking to, is this reflection of your belief system? Now listen to my question. That's why that caller, that guy that called in wouldn't answer my question. Because his belief system knows it's wrong. Mm-hmm. So that's why he tried to deflect. It's old news. Deflect. It's this. Deflect. She didn't talk about these kids in Chicago. Deflect. It's a deflection. Here's the question. Is what he did an extension of your own belief system? Yes or no? Now, I'll answer for myself. No. And I just gave my own personal experience. No, it is not an extension of my belief system. So if you are the most powerful individual in the country and you imitate and / mock, whatever you want to call it, a person who is physically handicapped, and Meryl Streep said it, it still bothers me. And wait a minute, listen to me, guys, please listen to me. But what really bothers me more than anything else, he denied it instantly. Mm-hmm. He denied it. He didn't say it was old news. He said, I didn't do it.
Exactly.
1-866-801-8255. That the Russians helped you or attempted to help you. Now, whether they did or did not is not the point. They tried to. And you know, and I know, that if it had been reversed, if Hillary Clinton had won, and the intelligence community would have said the Russians helped her, what do you think Donald Trump's people would be doing right now? Why do I have to go through these discussions? Because you don't want to admit I'm telling the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
That's right. Roosevelt from Pennsylvania. All right, Michael from South Carolina.
Hey, Joe. I think the bigger issue is just the level of cruelty that was done to that poor disabled kid versus someone imitating or mocking somebody.
No. Let me tell you something. It's a level of cruelty to him as an individual and as children and adults, and you sitting there watching somebody do that. Does this reflect your belief system? Yes or no? But here's what pisses me off, and it ought to piss off everybody. He lied within almost instantaneously. He's watching it. He's watching it the same time you're watching it, and then tells the New York Times, I didn't do it. And so you sit there, Michael, you see it. You heard it. And then the president-elect says, I didn't do it.
Again, we're talking imitation versus outright cruelty, beating someone, kidnapping them. I mean, what was done was heinous and irredeemable, I believe. Some acts that are done are just totally...
Excuse me. Michael,
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yeah.
If your wife was disabled and I got on this radio show or I got on TV and I mocked your disabled wife.
Mocked or imitated?
Mock or imitate. Oh, shit. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Isn't that a... Listen to what he did. Listen to what he said. Mock or imitate. Give me a break. Excuse the French, but I am an absolute... So therefore, there's a freaking difference. Imitate or mock. You know what? Never mind. Gerard from Tennessee. Isn't that a Jared? Isn't that a trip? All right, let's say I imitated your wife. Imitating, he was making fun of the man. God. Now I'm unfiltered. What you just heard is Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, unfiltered, because that is what you call conscientious stupidity.
Which is a form of bullying. That kind of mocking and imitation is a form of bullying. And his wife, Melania, who says that's going to be her first lady
Sherry,
program,
these
that's
people,
where she needs to start at
these
home.
people. So when I say, and he knows where, so it was, all right, so if I answer this question, no, okay, I imitated your wife. But in the end, I'm making fun of her. I'm putting her down. How many ways you want me to say it? I mock her, I'm putting her down. I imitate her, I'm putting her down. You guys are amazing. Not you guys. These people you're hearing, this is absolutely amazing. This is amazing. Jared from Tennessee.
Yeah, Mr. Madison. Hey, I just want to know why when Dr. Claude Anderson and Dick Gregory, they was taking...
Because Dick Gregory is a comedian, not running for president of the United States. Claude Anderson is a commentator, not running for president of the United States. That's why. Damn it. Will you play what Meryl Streep said again? Will you play what she said about holding the highest position in the land?
It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country.
Stop. That's why, Jared. Goodbye. God. And so you bring up Dick Gregory. You bring up Claude Anderson. Roosevelt from Pennsylvania.
Good morning, Joe. Joe, I remember when President Barack Obama showed up on one of the late shows one night, and they was asking him about basketball, and he says something about the Special Olympics. Remember how they had a heart attack about that, and he had to apologize?
I have to go back over. What's going on out there? Somebody's looking at fixing our thing. I got to tell you, I'd have to go back and see it. Be honest with me, I don't remember. I must say, I don't remember. We can look it up, but yeah, I don't remember.
But he was a man about it. He apologized. He apologized for saying it. Because the Special Olympic people, they jumped on his case right away.
Jermaine from Florida.
Morning, Mr. Madison. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good. Trump, he knows he was dead wrong for what he said. And if you think about it, or when I thought about it, he should be responsible for the rash of people beating up on mentally disabled people across the nation at this point.
Now, you know what? I hadn't connected the two, but you know what this caller just did? The mentally challenged guy in, was it Utah or Montana or Idaho? The football player. Idaho. His own folk went after him. He was weak. They were stronger than him, and they went after him. And now that was a group of white guys who went after a black guy. Then a group of black kids or young adults go after a white guy who were what? Mentally challenged.
Exactly.
And now hold on a second. And they physically attacked this person. That's how, when you got to be careful what you say, because people will take it to the extreme.
And Indiana was an extreme, because I don't know if you heard about this one, but a couple murdered their mentally challenged daughter, adopted daughter. She was 14. She was dismembered. Now that's extreme.
But all right, and that's extreme. So now you have, once again, go back to what Meryl Streep said. Go back, play again what she said.
It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it, and I still can't get it out of my head because it wasn't in a movie. It was real life.
It was real life. He's not, and that's what she was saying before that. We act. It's not real life. You got Dick Gregory on stage. He's acting. He's a comedian. He's an entertainer. This was real life. This is a man seeking the highest office in the land. And as she said, and we'll pull up that tape, we're going to get it over the break, where she said, and this is at the end, if he does it, it gives people permission to do it themselves. We react to them much. We find ourselves in a position of reacting. Sometimes you got to head off the crisis. Madison on Sirius XM Urban.
Did you know that smartphone use
was Secretary of State of Ohio.
Keep doing what you're doing to speak out on these issues as you've done for, the whole 30 years I've known you. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Where's this line 5 called in? Where am I here? This John out of New York, who's a first-time caller and a psychologist. Thank you for calling the Madison Show. Go ahead, John.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Madison. The one thing that I think that a lot of people in the media are missing about Donald Trump is the fact that he is a textbook sociopath. People think sociopaths are just crazy, but the problem is sociopaths are extremely intelligent, for one. They're masters of language, and on top of that, as you point out, he imitates people. Part of the reason for that is because sociopaths have difficulty reading crowds. So what they do is they go by what's popular at any given time. So imitating people is a way of connecting to the
popular opinion of just about any situation. That is how they blend in. Sociopaths, it is a mental illness. He definitely has it. I picked up on it right away. He definitely has it. And if you want to understand his psychology, you need to study up on the classic definitions and the symptoms of sociopathy, not psychopaths. Psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. Sociopaths are a result of their environment. I believe he's specifically a sociopath, not a psychopath. Those are the two things that you should study up on, and then you will be able to understand right away why he's able to do these things with no empathy whatsoever. And also, he's prone to fits of rage. He's prone to fits of anger, and anyone who attacks him will immediately be attacked back. And that's basically what I wanted to say.
And so let me ask you this question then. All right, when I say rage, people think of someone just losing it. I mean, like the guy in Fort Lauderdale, that's a fit of rage. He just lost it. However, and I'm asking advisingly, could he be expressing that rage through his tweets?
Oh, absolutely. Well, notice that any time something is said about him, that he has to immediately respond. First of all, if you remember the beginning of the Obama presidency, he had a BlackBerry which they took from him because it was an insecure device.
Right.
Now, I'm amazed that they've allowed him to continue with the tweeting, but apparently they've looked at it some type of paradigm where he's going to do it anyway, or perhaps it may change after he's president. But if anyone says anything about him, they will immediately be retaliated on because he can't help it. He probably has never been treated for it, but when you watch his body language and you watch his eye movements, if you study up on it, you will notice it right away. And I'm not saying it insultingly. What I'm saying is that is what he is.
You're speaking clinically. You're speaking clinically. You're speaking to us as a professional.
Yes, I'm trying to speak to you as a professional. Instead of using insults, I don't want to use insults. But he probably has not been treated for it. I would say, and I don't know his life story, but I would say when his parents sent him away to military school, that may have been either in a result of his behavior, or it may have triggered his sociopathy.
Yeah, particularly at a young age.
At a young age.
Yeah.
Something happened to him which turned him angry. And I don't believe he was born that way, but I do believe that something specifically happened to him at a certain point in his development, which has created what you see at this point. Now, as far as fits of anger, it's expressed verbally, it's expressed, through texting and twitting and whatnot. And the thing about it is, if you study up on what a sociopath is, you will right away recognize that it fits him to a T. Specifically, his intelligence, for one, and then on top of that, his linguistic skills. He knows how to make complex sentences. He knows those things. But he also understands that the majority of the people he's speaking to don't.
Yeah.
So just like I'm putting it where the goats can get it right now.
You read my mind. That's exactly right. Yeah. That you read my mind. I mean, you could have spoken to us in clinical terms, and then I would have to sit here and reinterpret what you said. But what you've done is you've explained it in everyday language so that most people listening to me can at least understand what you're saying. Now, whether they accept it or not is totally up to them. But that's why I put it in terms of what is your belief system. Now, you can get upset because Meryl Streep is from Hollywood. Hollywood is liberal for the most part, as people would have you believe. But although there are a lot of, remember, Ronald Reagan came out of Hollywood, But the reality is, that's why I asked the question, what is your belief system? What is your belief system? Would you do that? Would you allow someone in your family to do it, let alone the person seeking the highest office in land? And then would you allow that person to sit there and deny what he did when we're seeing him do it? That's what's so crazy. Now this again, listen. Now this is the other part of the clip yesterday, and here it is.
An actor's only job is to enter the lives of people who are different from us and let you feel what that feels like. And there were many, many, many powerful performances this year.